So what leads us to become lukewarm within the church is a lack of contentment. I'm tired of working here. All I do is just take care of my babies. I'm tired of just waking up every day paying bills. Even while we're in Christ, sometimes life can still start to feel menial and mundane. We long for more purpose, prosperity, success, good life, good things, because we start to feel internally that for whatever reason, what we have just isn't enough. We all want to feel like we're advancing to some degree. The problem is when we start to look at our relationship with God or our godliness as a means to propel ourselves, as a means of gain. This is what Paul was trying to warn the church of Philippi not to do, because it causes the true saving faith that we have in Christ to die. Paul calls it believing in vain. Peter calls it being tossed to and fro. James calls it being double-minded. All of them are talking about us becoming lukewarm because our interests are divided. Our focus is split in half. In Matthew, it says that we're trying to serve two masters. We start to view our relationship with God as a means of our own elevation. But we have to remember that Christ went low. He practiced humility. He practiced denying himself. But we have so many false prophets and false teachers in the church telling us the wealth of the righteous is laid up by the wicked, that we actually forget that we're all sinners and that no one in this world deserves anything from God. But when we start to have worldly ambition and pursuing success instead of just a true intimate relationship with God, this is where we start to see worldliness collide with the church, because our hearts want the same thing that everybody else in the world has: comfort, prosperity, success. And this is how we as Christians become lukewarm. We confuse God's promise of always having what we need with worldly advancement. Wanting more of anything other than God leads us further away from God. All of us are absolutely not going to have the same things in this life. This idea that if we're godly, then we deserve all of these things is the seed of the enemy. And this life is not about the pursuit of happiness. It's about the pursuit of God. The problem with the church today is that it's no longer just about God. It's about, how do I find success in Christ? How do I use my relationship with Jesus to uplift me or my own life? We're not here to fulfill ourselves. We're here to fulfill his purpose and his will. What's happening today is that a lot of us are trying to use the gospel for our own gain. So we're willing to make certain compromises with the world. And so we begin to step outside of those fences that God has set and those boundaries that he set, telling us not to emulate the world, not to mix with them. This is why God put up a fence and said, be set apart. He's trying to protect his sheep from being poisoned, from going outside of the gate or the fence and wandering, falling off a cliff, being devoured, coming back and infecting other sheep. But this is what we're seeing in the church today. Lukewarm Christians, false prophets, false teachers, infecting the flock. To sum this up, this all starts in the hearts of people who are not content with where their lives are and what they have. We want more. And wanting more than anything other than God leads us astray. It leads us further away from him. Because within our hearts, we're after the same gain that the world is after. So my question to you right now is, are we going to continue to be lukewarm and get spit out? Or are we going to let God teach us what it truly means to be content? I love you from here to heaven.